So, hello everyone who's watching this right now. I really wanted to clear some things I saw that confused me on the what Zeal did to me at RDC 2025. Quick disclaimer, I'm not native English speaker, so I might repeat myself a lot, I might pause for a lot, and I will have a little bit of accent. So, sorry for that, I hope it's quite clear what I'm saying or what I'm pointing at. I'm also not into the pressure fandom or community overall. I have not followed the inner relationships of the creators. I played the game like I don't know 8 times in my whole life. So yeah, there's that. I just loved it really much, and seeing how a person that created it was quite literally backstabbed by all of his friends and colleagues really struck me like a dishonesty, to be honest, and a big hypocrisy. So to start things with everything cleared up, we start the document. The very first thing we see, I quit working on this game due to psychological abuse, blah, blah, blah. Okay, no idea what that was. However, not long after, he decided we should reconnect. He befriended me again for his own benefit, conditioned me to not think too much of physical contact, and took his chances to get me alone with him. Right, so not long after, he decided we should reconnect. As soon as we open the button before RDC, as we see here, it's poorly constructed, but June 29th, she leaves, and then at August, reconnection. I sent a photo of painted nails and invited him to my server. So the first thing we ever read is just a lie. Just a blatant lie. I have no idea why it is like that, but he decided we should reconnect does not mean I sent a photo of pointed nails and invited him to my server. Yep, that's literally the first thing we see is that she started from her own words, she started this. So, hi Black Nails, hi, when I hang out sometime, I hang out with whales, often we play games. So, she started the reconnection, not him, as she stated right here. Weird, but okay. So, he denies her. The first things he does is just denying. I cannot play with you, I'm going on something, yada yada. I'd love to join back where you are or invite you to my server if you want. Or both. Here's the invite. So what's happening? She comes to him, sends a photo of her nails, asks to hang out sometime, tries to befriend him again, while saying here he befriended me again, okay, and invites her to his server or tries to invite him to her server. Sorry, it's really confusing to pronounce all of that. So, Zeal invites me to his server, then attacks that, while inviting himself to my community server. Again, while inviting himself, I might understand this poorly, because I'm not a native English speaker, but inviting himself does not translate to her asking him to join his server. So she started this whole topic of servers. She asked if he wants to join, and then with no response, we do not see response, and there was like a 1 minute between this message and this message. So she just yada yada throw him a link, invite to her server. Again, does not stuck with her own words. Why? No idea. Then Zeal tells he talked to the fellow staff, and staff decided they should keep the chat professional, which is fine, honestly. It's then he then describes why that was decided, and so on. As you can see right here, which is why I generally start to believe this paragraph. As you can see, he says, "This is for work only. Wanna keep it professional? Sorry, you can't join." Which she replies, "Oh damn, they do not like me anymore." I saw a lot of BPD in my life, honestly. I'm not a professional, but yeah, that's how it looks like. She's being told one thing, but her mind twists it all the other way around. So, want to keep it professional so you can join means to her that she is not liked there. She is not wanted there, and she is the issue. Not that the chat is professional, but she is the issue. That's what she thinks. Again, it repeats, it's a work server, it's only for employees, yada yada. I will skip that because I have no information on their drama before this. And then we do, but we want to keep it to only employees, so it doesn't end up like another chat of theirs, contributors, I suppose. Too many friends were invited and it disturbed its work. And honestly, that's also a valid statement because that's what happens with all the passion projects. You start to invite friends, they start to clutter up the chat, yada yada, so yeah, it happens all the time. Again, what happens? She twists all of his arguments and says, so only people who work on pressure are best friends. So, yet again, her mind twists the information like, if you do not work on pressure, you cannot be the best friend. I'm honestly as confused as Zeal here. Then she finally makes somewhat an argument that she cannot hang out with him if she doesn't know when he's free, which is paired with him joining her server, which she invited him to. So it's not like Zeal is coming into her personal space. She quite literally invited him, and he says, "I will be there, and we can communicate there." Okay. So this right here also strikes me just a regular like we have a big event, Roblox, where everyone is supposedly, and you're messaging him a month before it happens. So question, will you be at RDC? Is quite valid, honestly. There's nothing weird here, but just look at how it's worded here and how Ren is manipulating the reader. Immediately after excluding me from his server, Zeal asks, will you be at RDC? What emotions do you get when you read that? It strikes you as Zeal exiled him here and then immediately goes to like ask, no, well, okay, she just wants you to think that he wants her body, he wants to meet her and yada yada. Well, that is just a regular, absolutely regular discussion between two human beings, honestly, that are connected by Roblox. So asking will they be on Roblox developer conference is very valid. There was also a weird wording somewhere. Probably this. Okay, yeah, I already highlighted that. Getting access to my own relationship. Again, weird wording here. So, as we can see, Ren is asking how Zerum doing, which she gets replied that she's doing not well, and it is a bad timing to apologize for blocking her during that time when I wasn't doing too good. So, as we see on this screenshot, again, I have no idea on their drama beforehand, but what we can see here, Ren has blocked some person called Zerum, and they did not want to talk. But when Zerum is doing the same, blocking Ren and not wanting to communicate with him further, she just dismisses it as getting access to my own relationship. She is asking for an advice from Zeal, asking if she can write Zerum, if she can contact her, but she words it as getting access. So Zeal does not prohibit her from doing so. He's just advising her it's not a good timing and she's feeling not well, but it's worded as getting access. He gets access with one word. He does not, okay? He just tells her Zerum is not feeling good and it's a bad timing to contact her. I asked for permission to apologize and was denied. Are we seeing for asking for a permission? I honestly do not. It's just asking for advice. And she decided herself that she will not contact the room based on the information Zeal gives. Coordinate blah, 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 blah. Zeal asks which day will arrive at RDC. When I answer, he responds enthusiastically that we arrive at the same time, then immediately shares his hotel. Again? Blatant lie. Looking here, when will you get to RDC? Which day? First day of September, I arrive at night. Same time as me. Wow! Where are you staying? Let's meet up. Marriott. So, yet again, we see notation from Ren herself. Then immediately shares his hotel. However, on the screenshot, right below, like literally, I don't know, like 50 centimeters, we see her asking for the hotel and deciding they should meet up. I'm not seeing any manipulation from the Zeal side, so she's literally straightforward with her. She says he's busy, then he says staff does not want to get any outsiders in the group. Then he says what they do, yada yada, that Zeron feels herself not well. However, everything Ren saying so far is that she's being gated access, that he decided to reconnect. Once again, I am reminding you that the document starts with he decided we should reconnect. I'm not seeing any reconnection here, nor befriendtion, but okay. And the whole document, to this very moment, is just a very, very weird perception of reality from Ren, probably caused by her bipolar or borderline personal disorder. Not really sure what that is. But yeah, so yet again, she decides they should meet up, and that asks where he stays. The language of physical contact at Roblox Development Conference is introduced here. It was not my language first, it was his. Over the following days, it will appear dozens of times in increasingly explicit forms. Oh, I'm in the one often in front of it. The Westin Marriott was fully booked when I got even PPP. Again, wanna meet up with me and a friend on the 2nd, unless you have plans. Someone said he'd pick me up from the airport on the 1st. We got whale watching, but I'm sure there will be time. What's whale watching? Yeah, just a regular, just a regular, absolute, regular discussion between two people. And please pay attention to how Zeal handles this discussion and how he responds from the beginning. He's very distant. He does not, he only once put an exclamation mark, like, same time as me, yay! All the other time, he is very distant and very strict with his answers. Please remember that, because later on, if I'm not gonna highlight all of the document, later on, Ren says that he gets distant, then warm, then distant. He's always distant, okay? I just want to make that clear. He's distant from all the beginning. She's the one that incentivizes the discussion. And she's the one leading it. Asking questions, yada yada, and so on. So it's her incentive to begin talking. Okay. What's while watching? That was... and then they had a break for an hour. Hi, hello, I'm gonna push you at RDC. Absolutely normal friendly behavior, no? I might be wrong, but... And her reaction does not state she's uncool with it. She says, wah! So... I mean, I'm not blaming anyone, but just bear with me here. If you're friendly saying, I'm gonna push you at RDC, also take into consideration that Ren consistently uses words like, I'm gonna punch you, I'm gonna beat you, and yada yada, so I'm guessing it's a normal behavior from her and between them. Whatever. So, as we get this, she states, physical contact framing begins. So, yeah. We will follow her narrative, right? So if that was the beginning, From the very beginning, she did not show any distress about physical contact, about pushing and whatever. Selective engagement, also a very manipulative way of distressing the reader's thoughts. Alright, so I shared my music and vulnerability about my creative work. Zeal responds with 2 words. Notice the contrast. Extended messages about plans to handle my body at RDC. A 2-word response to my creative self-disclosure. Let's count together, right? He asks, what for? Like new work or just for funs? Funs, I don't have work yet, I wanna learn music, not good enough yet, lacking. Okay, good lucks. Yeah, it is cold, but it is cold from the start. And if we count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, he is sending 12 words regarding her own worries, and the whole body contact takes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, literally half less of words. He's talking about pushing or any physical contact. So again, notice the contrast. Extended messages about plans to handle my body at RTC, also a very manipulative way to say I'm gonna push you, but okay. 2-worded response to my creative self-disclosure. He's, again, constantly behaving himself in one pattern. He's distant, he's cold, but for some reason she decided that this is not cold. She counts this, all of that, a contrast to these messages. It's literally the same pattern of speaking, of talking. He did not change at any point. But no, Rand decided to manipulate the reader once again and say, notice the contrast. Extended messages about plans to handle my body. Yet again, handle my body at RDC is really bad way to put I'm gonna push you at RDC. And the really big hypocrisy here is that Ren is very clear on the fact that she does not like that people put words in her mouth, that people do yada yada, but this whole document, all 200 pages of it, are just her describing what she felt and how she interpreted their communication. Okay, so quite literally, she spent like, I don't know, maybe a few thousand words describing her own interpretation and putting words in the mouth of Zeal. Okay, let's check out. So stupid idiot, she's so me. Do you know killing a character is when you look at the character, yada yada. I know that, if in the Zeal, but I don't mind. What are your plans for RDC? Again, literal just discussion. She asks a question out of blue, he asks a question out of blue. What are your plans for RDC? Because she also asked that, by the way. Unless you have plans, so yada yada, she asks if they can meet unless he has plans. The same question comes from Zeal. What are your plans for RDC? Nothing supernatural here. To be honest, not sure. Someone is planning stuff, but I don't know really. I wanna meet up with Cyborg, hope he's still up for it, cause we said we'd go to a cafe. I'm gonna meet you and pick up and throw you around. Again, no distress from Ren shown here. And even more, you may do that. I like being picked up and thrown around. I am in fact a creature. Note, this verbal statement in the playful light chat context was later used as an impactful justification. It is not consent to being grabbed without greeting in public. Might be, okay, yeah, fine. But the issue is, with this whole document, it's not a crime. So, I will get to this later down the video. But the issue is, this whole document is just miscommunication between an autistic child and a bipolar or borderline disorder child. Alright? So, it's just a miscommunication. Zeal wanted to throw her around, she said she's fine with it, she loves it, and Zeal, they took that as like, oh well, she loves getting thrown around, maybe I should do that. Again, because he's autistic. I will not sugarcoat sexual harassment. I will not justify his actions by using autism, but I want you to understand how autism works. It's a spectrum, of course. It's a scale from 0 to God knows how much. But yeah, the thing is, most of the autistic people have enjoyment in some things. Like, for example, in Zeal's case, I will suppose he loves programming. He loves computers, he loves game development, and so on. He understands this thing. He understands how to code, how to work on the game, and yada yada. He's comfortable with it. But what strikes me from this document, from all the screenshots I've read, he is not very comfortable with physical contact or overall social life, communicating with people. It's stressing for him. It drains his social battery and yada yada. So he always wants to go into his room, continue working on a game, and I can relate to that. I had my own issues with this in my own relationship because I really wanted to continue game designing or game development. It's only thing that actually I enjoy and that brings peace to my mind. But the difference is I worked through that issue. I tried to socialize more, for example, right? I tried to give more attention to my girlfriend, so yada yada. Well, here we see a pattern that Zeal lacks that social awareness. He does not understand what communication is. He's distressed by the fact of communication most of the time, from what I see, especially one-on-one with a girl that likes him. He does not know know how to handle it, and it brings distress to him. And instead of navigating him on what she likes or does not like, she just constantly reassuring him for the whole document of 200 pages that everything is fine, everything is good, and I honestly believe Zeal did not know any of that. Again, I will get to this later down the video and probably repeat myself, but 7 months ago, somewhere in this document, Zeal said that he counts Ren as a friend, he just wanted to help her, and that physical contact, as he thought, was helping her because she has a very bad mental state, she has a lot of issues, so he thought that just being with her physically would make her better. He said that in his video that was taken down on YouTube. He still stays the same. He did not change any of his mind. That he just wanted to help. He thought Zeal hoped he was helping her. He actually believed that. And honestly, if the same statement did not need any changes and reconsideration after half a year, I honestly believe that. You do not want to believe. You should not believe. But just as a fact, he stated he was trying to help her by physical contact, and after 7 months, he did not change a word in his testimony. He's still saying the same thing. He wanted to help her. That's all he wanted. So just take that as a fact. As we see here, Ren shows no distress in being picked around, thrown around, yada yada, so if someone is manipulating here, it's probably Ren, because if she actually is not okay with it, she just decides to not speak of it because she wants to manipulate Zeal into speaking with her further down the line. She does not want him to abandon her, she does not want for them to disconnect, yada yada, so I could even say this actually is manipulation. If she really was discomfort with him throwing her around, she could tell so. She's not endangered right now. She's already burned all the bridges to the pressure, and she could just tell, I'm not okay with it. So if the pattern, physical contact framing begins, she is the one who begins it. She does not respond to him properly here. She does not stop him here, and she just goes on with it. She cannot sense her boundaries. It's literal drama between two people, neurodivergent people. One cannot understand what's happening, Zeal has no social awareness, and Ren cannot establish any boundaries, and constantly reassures herself and himself that everything is fine and she can endure it and yada yada and everything is going to be fine, but it will not. Okay, so the very root of the problem lies here in the very first page of the document. You can see how they both handle the situation. Zeal has no idea Ren does not like, and bear with me here, he would never know that physical contact framing begins is what she would name I'm gonna push you at RDC. Like, literally. I would never thought that if I sent that message to someone, they would frame it as physical contact framing begins. Like, what the... Hello? Okay. Let's go later. I like being picked up, yada yada. It is not consecutive being around without greeting public. This one is true. I want to, like, again, point to the fact this is true. It is not a consent, but it is also understandable for Zeal to think that throwing someone, picking and throwing around is appropriate without even greeting, because it's just a friendly thing to do, right? Some people are okay with hugging on their first meeting. Some people are not, right? So it's just really from a person to person. It varies a lot. It's just unlucky that no one communicated this better. 2 explicit statements of planned physical contact. Ignored normal conversation. Yet again, there's a normal conversation going. They're speaking on a lot of different topics, and explicit statements of planned physical contact are containing I'm gonna meet you and pick you and throw you up, and I'm gonna push you at RDC. This is what she tells the reader are 2 explicit statements of planned physical contact. Okay, once again, a manipulation of the reader, because how you word things and it's very, very important. Okay, so for 12 pages, it's really bad. It's really bad. So we are out to believe that Zeal is already planning something, that Zeal is manipulating her, that he is a mastermind behind all of it. Yet again, it all starts with he decided we should reconnect. So all of this is a twisted perception of the situation from Ren and her not being able to establish any boundaries. Okay, let's go down. It's nice being silly friends again. I finally feel normal about you again. I don't know, something about working made it feel normal now. It's finally normal. Yay! Zealer also tells me he's so happy, and so I'm glad my friend is silly happy. Win-win. This means I can meet my friends Zero next year at Roblox development conference. The stupid silly. Regular, again, topic. Yet again. She states that ignored normal conversation. I'm seeing a normal conversation here. I'm not sure what she's pointing at, but she's blatantly lying between 2 screenshots of her own evidence that show she's not right. There's a normal conversation here. Zeal is not as chatty as Ren is, but that's just how Zeal is from this document. I do not know him personally, but I'm just operating with the facts I'm seeing on this document. He's constantly not chatty, yet she frames it as ignored normal conversation, while we see here the normal conversation goes. I finally feel normal about you again. I was happy despite enduring an abusive workplace which I successfully escaped. Okay, I have no idea what happened here because it was closed doors, but whatever. The soft content pattern. Zeal began sending soft content, primarily rabbit, bunny videos cuddling, and memes with captions like "Can we do this? Me too, Rand. You're so bunny. I'm squishing you. You're getting squished and carried." This is documented across multiple days. The same soft content pattern was also sent to other women in his circle. See note below. I mean, like, yeah, this is weird, honestly. Oh, wait a second. Oh, yeah, okay, it's fine. So, yeah, this one is, can we do this? Like, it's not anything bad, but just questionable, right? You just reconnected. yeah, a few days ago, I think, like a week ago. Maybe, no, wait. You reconnected 2 weeks ago, right? 12, 26. Yeah, like 2 weeks passed by, so probably normal, especially taking that she also sends cute bunnies, literally us, yada yada, so it strikes me as this was normal behavior between them. Again, we will note that this right here, okay, so keep this in mind. He started, from what we see, he started this, can we do this with cute images, so we will at least give her that okay, he started this, let's go down. But she did not yet again show any distress and just carried on and sent literally us as well. So it just seemed to me, from an outside perspective, that they're just cheerfully, playfully chatting. And you cannot ignore the fact that Zeal, being in that situation, also probably thought the same. Like, there's no reason for him not to think so, because Ren is constantly reassuring him and copies his behavior, okay? Strangles you until you're facing purple, but I'm a red, so it's okay. Okay. You're a dumb rat, I'm gonna squish you at RDC, yada yada. Regular friends. Again, I fail to see how this is important to the actual act that Zeal made. The actual act he did was wrong, but why are we reading through regular couples direct messages? All it does is just shows that they actually had a connection, they actually spoke a lot, and they had some intimacy on the at least friendly side of things. They were talking about squishing, hugging, yada yada. So her own evidence does not work. It works against her, in my opinion. I'm gonna pick you up and kick you around. In a single overnight conversation, Zeal makes multiple statements about planned physical handling of my body. Yet again, very weird wording. Simultaneously, the conversations are playful and warm, which is the point. Physical domination framing was embedded in a register that feeling like friendship. Across this file, multiple times, Ren has stated she is fine with physical contact, that she loves being carried around, that she loves sitting on her cousin's shoulders. So they're together for 5 years already at this point. I fail to see how Zeal would not know about Ren's liking physical contact and other things. Like, and again, what I cannot stress enough. All of this document is built, all of the live threads sent to Zeal, all of the backlash, the pressure received, it's all built around the fact that Ren did not do any of setting boundaries. She just went with it and did not tell anything about it to Zeal himself, right? She just reassured him a lot, and all of this could be avoided if she just could talk with him, but she could not. Okay. Fourth explicit statement. Again, explicit statement is really overreacting here. Hi, I'm listening to music and look at art. Hi, she's me, so me. Oh yeah, you're so doomed. I'm gonna pick you up and kick you around. Okay. Again, no boundaries. Enthusiasm in a hypothetical chat context is not concerned to being physically handled without asking. Huh? This is not enthusiasm, and this is just like, okay, it makes sense, but it does not. So you're 4 times, okay, you said explicit statement, right? So explicit, it is explicit, okay. You're saying, okay, yay, and I could like say, okay, why does not count, or does not count, but literally, I'm gonna pick you up. Okay, what is consent then? I do not understand. So she's literally saying, okay, I'm gonna pick you up. Okay. But this is not a consent to being physically handled without asking. Like, okay, yeah, you could ask in person, in real life, before doing anything. That is absolutely right to do. and it should be done, but you already have permission from the person straight up saying okay in a text chat. So again, this chat is made to communicate, right? You communicate with the person. The person says she's fine with doing this, and as she said herself, this was the fourth explicit statement. So this one is like fifth, and she's okay with all of it. So I'm failing to see how enthusiasm isn't a hypothetical. Sorry, it's hard to read. Enthusiasm in a hypothetical chat context is not consent to being physically handled, but it's not just enthusiasm. It's literal okay. Zeal could ask, for sure could, but she already gave consent to being pushed around, right? When I do stupid shit as RDC, yada yada. Series of animal videos. When I do this, the sequence escalates. Reader note: these are being read in the context of what he already said about his physical plans at RDC. Okay. We could randomly, like anything dumb said, we could start clapping and applause, confuse people, could also freak people out by like standing still. Lol, I do that. One person looks weird, two people is like, what the fuck they are thinking. We could also take them selfies and shit. The silly. Wanna do this? Yeah. We cannot look what's happening on the video. Two bunnies holding hands. She says yes. So, okay, so she wants to hold hands. Alright. The snuggles. Wanna do this? Then serials video of one bunny mounting another. Caption. This is where it shifts. Cute to sexual. Reframed from cuddling to mounting. Framed as something they both want. I will not comment on all of her annotations, but like, you see, right? She consents to all of it. And it's not enthusiasm, right? It's straight up yeah, and so on. Of course, yet again, I will repeat myself for everyone to understand. You could and should ask in person right before you're doing something, because a person could, especially with BPD, a person could change their mind a lot of times. They could be in a different mood at the moment when you try to hug them, for example. So yes, he should have handled this better, but he already got consent on all of this, right? No boundaries yet again. 24 pages, no boundaries at all. We have an oblivious Zeal and a silent Ren. It's a literal recipe for a disaster, right? I'm okay to play this game. My friend told me about it and we played it together. Me too, Ren. So, prettiness fan art of the princess being pet. Okay. I want to be clear. Laughing in a DM is not consent to what he did to my body. Physical contact at a real world event. Enthusiasm expressed hypothetically does not authorize action on a body in person, without asking, without warning. Friendly enthusiasm in a direct message is not consent. This is fair. However, this does not have anything to do with what actually happens, because if we just scroll a bit up, we can see that, yeah, the snuggle, yeah, so she directly asked, wanna do this? Answer is yeah. If this is not consent to physical contact, I don't know what is. Again, I will again repeat myself. So everyone is at justice here. You really should ask people before doing anything. But this here claims that there was no consent and it was just enthusiasm, but there was consent. There was literal yeah and yes and yeah and yada yada. So this one is just blatant lie. It has sense, but it does not connect to the actual citation. Flinksio wrote them up. Hi, throws you ups. I thought you said throws up. I'm gonna be like, what? Why? Yada yada. Hey Zeal. Hi Ryan. Gift taxes sit on top of me. I was in the mall shopping for gifts to bring to my friend before flight. I offered to buy Zeal a gift as well. He deflects, but redacts care by naming someone else who likes the same thing I offered. Completely ignoring the fact that the connection between these two between the two, I and cat, was severed a long time ago. Later that same afternoon, the bunny proxy pattern culminates in, yeah, you can see on the top of me. This, please remember this. Please, I really beg you, remember this. Followed by him explicitly asking my height. I know cat left plushes, so we aren't friends. They have me blocked. I tried to add back. I was blocked. So okay. So in the beginning of this document, Ren wanted to reconnect with Zero, and later down the document, she wanted to reconnect with everyone, including Kat, right? So she even approached, and someone frames it as harassing the development team of Pressure. So she either way tried to connect with them in real life. And we see here that Zeal proposes that she buys plushies, or like cat loves plushies, right? We will not assume anything, but he says cat loves plushies, which could be interpreted as you could buy a plushie, right, to make up things, because she burned the bridges. As far as I know, she left the team with a bad aftertaste. So this could be used as a way to reconnect with them. But Ren counts this as he deflects but predicts care by naming someone who likes the same thing, completely ignoring the fact that the connection between two was severed a long time ago. Honestly, never mind, I probably overthink this. But it strikes me that she thinks this was a manipulation. She loves the word manipulation. And I think this is one of them. Like, he is manipulating her by reminding Cat loves plushies, and instead of taking advantage of this information and buying a plushie for Cat to reconnect with her, she decides that he just yeah, no, never mind. Honestly, it's very hard to process all of this document and keep it all in head. I can really be. You don't need to buy me gifts. I like my phone. Honestly, also can relate to that. Throughout the document, other than, of course, the sexual harassment, I honestly. Sorry for sniffing. Okay, never mind. I attempted to talk about the Infire Exile again. Zeal ignores and continues. Yet again, this is just framing. Like, he states that Cat loves plushies, that I tried to back her, to add her back. Okay. She goes to yup. What else do you like? I can't really get specific media stuff since I'm in yada yada. You don't need to buy me gifts. So she throws a lot of messages, like yup, like 5 messages connected to this topic, and then also throws in the question about him. He answers only the last 2 messages. Is it Zeal ignores and continues? He did not ignore. He said, okay, right? Then she added some information, and he answered the last 2 questions regarding himself. Is it ignoring? No. But does the narrative make you think the Zeal is ignoring her, Exile? Yeah, it does. Me to you, I'm biting you. I mirrored the bunny proxy language back. The language he introduced has now been absorbed to my vocabulary. This is how normalization works. I'm more than certain that normalization takes a lot of time. It's not a thing that happens in like one sitting. And I might be like oblivious, but I've seen Ren using bunnies, gifs, and yada yada a lot. So either he left a really big footprint in her, which could be plausible, or that's how she operated before, and it's not some novelty to her. Yet again, that seems to me like a manipulation of the reader. But again, Zeal, may I talk with Zero and apologize now, or would she still not be in the mood yet? She's constantly hurting, like she doesn't even talk to me because of her condition. he gates. He does not gate. She asks a question, he answers. But this is framed as he gates. Yet again, yet another manipulation. The sole thing that Ryan is accusing Zeal of. I feel so bad for her and I wish to make up for her. Could you send screenshots? This maybe and yada yada. I was never her of just going through a lot of shit back then, and I'm finally on meds and calmer now. So, okay, this what I wanted you to remember. She sends bunny hat and explicitly says, "Can we do this?" Which Zeal replies to, "Yeah, you can sit on top of me, stupid head." Rewinding a bit. Later that same afternoon, the bunny proxy pattern culminates in, "Yeah, you can sit on top of me," followed by him explicitly asking my height. She is the one who proposed to like sit on top like a hat, alright? But here we see like Zeal is proposing this, making him some kind of freak or whatever, but "Yeah, you can sit on top of me" was following her own desire. Can we do this? So I haven't brought any water. I'm feeling really dry. But can we do this? "Yeah, you can sit on top of me." Hello? Like literal, again, blatant lie right here. Whatever. Height, weight, and explicit RTC plan. Zeal collects my height and weight directly. I answer. He confirms he can carry me. Then states explicitly and in writing, "That's gonna be me at RDC, picking you up, tossing around to kick you a little." He had already decided. He had sourced my physical measurements. He announced his plan. He did not ask. Again, I really hope you just witnessed all of the documents beforehand. There was like 4 or 5 times he asked if they can do this or that or yada yada. She was also doing the same thing. She was asking the same thing. So it was consensual, it was approved, it was speaking through, and if anything she is not comfortable with, she just decided not to speak of it. And also pay attention to this. Zeal collects my height and weight directly. Wait, Dedas, hold on, are you actually that strong to carry people on your back? She starts this discussion. "I can carry you on my back, arms, wherever." "Can we do that at RDC? Please, please, hey, 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 hey." I mean, I guess I'm small, I'm not sure. So, how tall are you? I'm barely 160 centimeters. Is 60 kilos a lot? Please read this. Zeal collects my height and weight directly. I answer. He had already decided. Let's just read what she connects to this annotation. She is starting, I mean, I guess I'm small, I'm not sure, which he then proceeds to ask, "How tall are you?" And he does not even ask about weight. She is the one who volunteers to give that information. Is 60 kilos a lot? How tall? I guess I'm small. I'm barely 160. Like, he does not even. Sorry, I'm getting too emotional. I should not be, because I want to highlight the wrongdoing of this document. But we see her annotation right here. Zeal collects my height and weight directly. I answer. But in reality, she started this discussion. And later down the document, she also accuses him of volunteering for stuff that he did not do. But right here, she just ignores the fact that she volunteered for some of this. Like, this is the moment his weeks of work paid off. What work did we see? Funny bunny memes? Yeah, sure. They were consensual. They were sent from both parties. They were not accorded to. No one said they're uncomfortable with that. So there's literally no other work. Weeks of repeated physical framing had echoed back what he wanted to hear in our text messages, which he then used as a cover to act on my body without asking. There was 5 known, or even 6, because she also asked to be carried around. There was 6 instances of her directly saying yeah or asking herself to do something, so it was given approval, right? Again, yet again, you should ask before doing anything, but she already gave consent, not to using her body in a sexual way, but hugging, throwing around, cuddle. No cuddling as well. There was. Oh no, wait, there was cuddling approved, but nonetheless, it was all approved by her. Enthusiasm in a hypothetical situation is not a concern, not a consent. Yes, but it was literal consent. Okay. This again, yet again, a manipulation of the reader. This moment, his weeks of work paid off. There was no work. He just spoke to her as she does. He just reflected the way she speaks. Silly, playfully, cheerfully. She started this discussion. She was the one who wrote first. He just answered in his own manner, right? There was no like CIA type of shit going on right here. Yeah, I can carry that. Yay, I like being carried around. Yada yada. So there was again a possibility to say I'm not really okay with it, but we do not see this. And I'm not denying the fact that she could actually be framed or ought to believe that she likes it. But how? Answer me this. How Zeal supposed to know this, right? How is Zeal supposed to know that her yes means no? How exactly Zeal is supposed to know that actually she does not like it? And this whole document to this moment is just Ren justifying her own words, actions. She requires an annotation to each of her messages, and she completely twists the meaning of messages. So if message says yes, she then adds an annotation saying it actually meant no. This whole document is so big because not because there's a lot of evidence against Zeal or anything. It's so big because Ren had to justify and explain all of her direct messages to us readers. She did not do any of that to the Zeal himself. She just decided to soak it up like a sponge and be silent, leaving him to wonder what she actually means. And then, after 7 months, she publishes a big 200 or maybe even 250 pages document to explain each of her message, twisting the whole situation from ground to bottom and completely shattering the original picture. This video is already an hour long. I'm not sure anyone will actually watch it, but let's just wind up a bit because we finished the most biggest part of it. She consistently says that people will attempt to discredit me, pick apart my words, find loopholes in my account, or use my own pain against me. She was saying somewhere here, I will not find it probably here, that any apology at this point I will not accept. If it wasn't, it is damage control, not guilt. They made sure to show they feel nothing but deep hatred for me and only care for their public image. Yet again, this is blatant. Whole this preface is just a blatant lie, to be like blunt with you, right? I just did not want to emphasize on it much to show the actual, like, this whole 20 or 32 like pages, right? The first ever document. All of it is just a lie or a twisted perception or her justifying words or her changing or putting words in Zeal's mouth, right? Whole 30 pages of it. And preface is just a blatant lie, blatant discreditation of others, and overall, I really don't remember where she says it, but she says that it's any of things that they will do will be just like, oh, they will try to protect him, they will try to, change how the words look, they will try to change the situation how it's better for them. But that's what she did. So what's most irritating for me is that who calls chickens first wins, right? Who shouts the first, the loudest wins. She posted a 200-page document that is very hard to read, honestly. Both from emotional side and from actual writing side and from the actual amount of information she just dumps on the user. It's just trauma dump, right? At this point. It's not even about the situation. It's just trauma dumping from start to end. The overall documentation of Zeal's alleged crime, I will regard to it as that, could be fit in 10 pages. And it would be even better for Ren, because it would only show the needed information. But with the additional information that we received, that no one actually read into, we can see how much of twisted this situation is right now. She just twisted this whole situation right around. I said I do not think I can cover this because it has a lot of material that could be blocked on YouTube. However, the most I wanted to show you is how this whole 30 page is just discreditation, manipulation of the reader, and twisting the facts. So I hope you understand that this whole file is the same, right? I'm really not sure if I can do this right here. But let's probably speedrun around it. We'll let you know when we are back. It's gonna be in a bit. Send Jose Marriott. Yeah, we'll drop off snacks and get to marry today. Westin, not Hilton. Yes, dump. Okay, it did not notify. The first thing he did when he met me, not even a hello, he approached me and lifted me into the air from my waist and twirled me on the sidewalk in front of his hotel building. There was no greeting, there was no question. He acted on my body before he acknowledged me as a person. This right here is again a manipulation and an I'm sorry, I can't know how to pronounce this. Manipulation, okay? Let's stick with it. As I repeated myself a lot of times, you should ask in person. It should be done. Surely, right? But they already arranged stuff. It's not Zeal's plan. It's an arrangement from both sides, right? And this one, he acted on my body before acknowledging me as a person, is like a big stretch, a giant stretch, okay? It's made to manipulate reader into thinking what Ren wants you to think. Because it's just a friendly meeting, right? Two friends that planned, arranged even their meeting. They said they will toss and spin and yada yada. So they were okay with it this whole time. And when they meet, first thing they do is they physically contact. Because they are distant friends that cannot regularly see each other physically. And it's completely normal for online friends to act this way. Yet again, you should ask for permission in person. It is the right thing to do. It is always the right thing to do. But in this situation, we already had consent in text. So it's not as bad as Ren wants you to think, right? After spending the day with our mutual friends, I will not probably read all that, but this is also a strange moment from Zeal. As the group prepared to leave for the night, I said goodbye to my friends and asked for hugs. When I asked Zeal instead of a normal hug, he grabbed me and crashed backwards onto the couch, pulling me on top of him. He buried his face in my neck and braced me in. This lasted for what felt like several minutes. My friend and Cyborg weren't two people with us in that room. My friend felt very awkward. Not sure if this is her own opinion or she actually asked this, but we will take that as granted. This is actually weird, okay? So I will not sugarcoat this. This is a weird behavior, but this is not something that deserves like life-threatening Google document, okay? This is, again, the core issue of this document. Miscommunication between the two. Zeal thought it was okay to do so. It was okay to grab her and sit with her on the couch. Whereas Ren did not say anything to him and did not discuss this later on. She did not say, yo, dude, this is not okay, like, fuck off, and shit like that, okay? This is what normal people do. That's how they operate. But either way, this is really weird from Zeal's side. They should have just discussed this. It should not be a reason to like write a document or whatever. It's just a miscommunication, and Ren should have said that if we are being blunt, right? If we are saying, oh, Zeal should do this or that, Ren should also do things, right? Communication between two people is a consensual thing, you know? Like, if you communicate with someone, if you are in the relationship, you should probably also do things for it. If you want partner to do anything, you should set boundaries, you should speak, you should talk, whatever. So if we are saying that Zeal should have asked for something, then it also means that Ren should also say something, right? I hope that is fair. This lasted for what felt like several minutes, yada yada. Cyber comments, haha gay, treating the scene as comedy rather than recognizing or intervening is what's happening. My friend in the room is visibly uncomfortable and awkwardly witnessed the prolonged physical contact. Zeal then whispers in my ear, tell me when you wanna let go. I responded, okay, let go. He drops me off the couch, directly in front of his couch area, immediately crawl backwards to create distance. This honestly, if it actually happened, sounds really not cool, honestly. But it also feels like a fanfiction. I'll be completely honest. Again, not gonna sugarcoat this. This whole situation stinks. It smells bad, really bad. But it's just a miscommunication between the two. Right? Zeal stands up, abruptly says, well, good night everyone, I gotta go, and he leaves the suite with notable urgency. I did not know that at the time, but later during my healing and recollection of the events, the sudden exit after the prolonged physical contact is consistent with him having become physically aroused and needing to leave before it became apparent to others. Fair, yeah. So the pattern here is that Zeal is a social person that had no physical contact with women, probably. At least he has no sexual experience. So I'm guessing he also is not really that frequent to any physical contact with women. And getting, like, hugging them, and then not handling the situation properly, like accurately putting someone on the couch, yada yada, is caused by him not having any experience in such matters. And him getting physically aroused from just hugging, like, solidifies this argument, in my opinion. Because if you just get physically aroused from hugging someone, right? Yeah, that means you basically just get no bitches. I'm so sorry. But this is like what it is, okay? Zeal is just unexperienced from this whole situation. We can understand he has no experience overall in these matters. But instead of saying what he did wrong, this is just silenced. I then hug Cyborg goodbye. Cyborg says, not like Zeal, not like Zeal, acknowledging even in the moment that what had just happened with Zeal was different from a normal hug. Yeah, it was. I went and gave my friend a hug too, then returned to my hotel room. He says smart, separate times across the next 12 minutes. I still processing the evening through lens of trust. He gives the best hugs ever. Again, the whole file is built upon this. You give the best hugs ever. So they just hugged. And instead of saying, yo dude, what you did is not okay, she's reassuring him and says, you give the best hugs ever, you're so cute, I love you, good night. So honestly, like a couple texting, right? But then after 7 months, she posts and completely turns the table. So, when I said you give the best hugs ever, it actually meant I hate what you did. I was really stressed. I did not like it. Are you not seeing what I'm seeing? This is just, I have no credit to this document because she could say anything she wanted, and then after 7 months, she just completely changes the narrative. I do not understand why people are crediting this document as a truthful source of information. You're so cozy and comfy. I will not annotate probably all of it because the worst part of it, like before the act, is this, right? We can see how she reassures him. It was, you deserve it all the time, you're so cozy and comfy. I wanna do it tomorrow, maybe with less people because it was awkward. Yet again, another narrative shift. He wants to repeat physical contact again. It's clear this isn't because it was awkward, but to remove witnesses. So, let me get this straight to you. Okay? She literally says, you give the best hug ever, you're so cute, I love you, good night. And then changes her words to like, I was not comfortable, it was awful, yada yada. But when he directly says, I wanna do it tomorrow, maybe with less people because it was awkward, she decides that because it isn't because it was awkward, but to remove witnesses. So in this document, not only she changes her own words and meaning behind them, but she also changes what his words mean. She just literally, it's told, maybe with less people because it was awkward. No, it was not awkward. It was actually to remove witnesses. The narrative is fully hers to do whatever she wants. She can shape it, shift it, remove it fully, and she does it. His solution is to do it again with fewer people around. He was planning to isolate me with him, while assumed he was seeking comfort in me. Again, this is a manipulation of the reader. She just pushes her own narrative instead of giving us documentation and argumentation. He was planning to isolate me with him. You cannot know what someone was planning to do, right? Please, you cannot even answer for your own words. You have to change meaning of your own words, but you can for some reason know what someone was planning. He was planning to isolate me with him. Like, you cannot... No, that's not how it works, no! Sorry again for being so emotional, but I cannot believe what I'm reading. And I cannot believe this document actually got someone cancelled. How long till the guests come back? When are you back? So she's ignoring his questions and he's ignoring her questions. It's mutual. Biba, I gotta know. I wanna hang out with you guys, but I don't know when you're back. Come over yet again. So she frames him for ignoring her questions, but when she does the same, like, right? She doesn't annotate that. She just blatantly ignored him 3 times. How long till you come? When are you back? I gotta know. I wanna hang with you, but I don't know when you're back. She just ignores it, right? She just says, come over, come, drive, big man, I'll send you location. So, if we are going from the point that Ren operates, she just ignored him completely and just wanted his body, right? She did not want to communicate with him. She did not want to answer his questions. She just come here physically, right? So does that mean that Ren wanted Zeal body? Of course not. But when it's the opposite way around, Ren will frame it as he wants my body, right? Just again, pay attention. Bro, no, even here we are inside with Bob. Zeal does not come. Despite repeatedly asking when I will be back and calling me, he does not drive out to meet us. Me and my friend ended up feeling bad for him and cut our shopping trip short to go back and pick him up so he could tag along. Okay, I wanted to say he did not give consent to, like, he did not say he will come, yada yada, but he said, okay, so we will count that he actually said he will come, but he didn't. Weird, but if we don't count textual agreement as a consensus and as a consensual thing, then sending okay as an answer also does not count as a consent to come. This either way does not matter much, but a weird note to make that he said okay but did not come. This is really weird, but let's move on. Friend A and I head back toward the hotel, but friend A needs to pick up his friend B from other hotel. When there are not many people around, they'll sit in silence for a while. Then he says, so, have you found a new job after you quit? How's that new Piggy game going for you? Piggy is a well-known Roblox franchise. I had been asked to work on something under that franchise years prior, under Team I2R. Zeal had previously joked that I was tricking him with another game. Now he's asking me about my employment status after I quit working for him. He knows this is a painful conversation for me. Yet again, you cannot know what something, if a person knows something or does not. You're putting words and thoughts in his head, right? So, yet again, manipulation. Secondly, as we see here, so there's a giant gap between them connecting and him asking this question. So, I'm assuming this is just a regular discussion between two people. And like, what else can you discuss if someone left from your abruptly left from your team like a month ago, and now actually needs a new job, right? This is absolutely fine question. Like, okay, if it was discussed that she is not comfortable with it and he still did it, it's a bad thing from him, right? But we have not seen this. We have not seen Ren saying that she's not comfortable with speaking about new job. Plus, Ren herself, if you remember, shared her thoughts about her work and music. So this topic was around already years prior, or days prior, right? So this is just a normal conversation. But yet again, we see that Ren wants to manipulate the reader to think that, like, oh, Zeal is abuser. He reminds her of Job. I start crying. I tell him I never wanted any of this, that he terrified me, that I thought he was scary, but maybe it was all in my head. It probably was. That I generally did not want to work under him because the working relationship that had my friendship feel toxic. I tell him I had started to feel he was abusive. I cannot get all of it out in words, so I cry a lot. Zeal puts my head in his lap and tells me it's okay. He begins brushing my hair slowly. This is the second time in less than 24 hours that Zeal has positioned my head in his lap and played with my hair. The first time was in the suit, set up as a casual hangout moment. This time it follows an emotional breakdown he triggered by asking about the job he knows traumatizes me, destabilizes me, then provided physical comfort. Each time it deepened the sense of intimacy and dependency I had for him. This makes sense, actually. This is a working strategy, right? For abusive relationships. But it does not work here because Ryan herself has brought up this topic as well, days before this. So, yeah, he could accidentally trigger her. There's no doubt in that. But claiming for the reader, yet again, the narrative is that Zeal forcefully triggered her, knowing that this will lead to her being traumatized and start crying. So, like, Zeal is a mastermind that planned all of this. Well, he actually could just care about her friend, right? But narrative tells us otherwise. The first was in the suit set up as a casual hangout moment. Again, this varies from a person to person, but it's okay for some people to just lie on the lap of their friends, right? I don't think this is like mutually agreed upon between all of the people on Earth that you can or cannot lay in the lap of a person. And also, if this is the second time, in under 24 hours, we saw no refusal from Rand's side. She did not say, I'm not comfortable with it. Yet again, please, I cannot stress this enough. This whole document, yet again, is just built on the fact that she could not ever say no. And then she framed a person for using her, right? And instead of taking... I forgot the word, sorry. Instead of taking any responsibility that she could not set boundaries, she instead put all of the responsibility on Zeal for not even understanding the signals, right? But she did not even give signals. She always reassured him everything is fine. She said he loves him. She said he loves hugs, cuddles, yada yada. So not only she confused him more, but she also does not take any responsibility or credibility for that. And just frames this whole situation as big Zeal plan. This is the narrative that is getting all this document, right? So all of it is built around the idea of Zeal being a big mastermind that manipulated her. But in reality, she is the mastermind who twisted the reality around her. She perceived things not as they were. She told things that she did not think about. She then also changed the meaning of these words in a document. There's a lot wrong with it. A lot. I'm not able probably to cover all of this in one video. But I hope you get the idea, right, between this. So my final statement here will be on the overall document, that this whole document is a giant manipulation that has a lot of unrelated facts, unrelated information, personal information, things that honestly even I would not want to roam online, right? This whole document led to people massively not even cancel a person, but send threats, hoping they burn in jail or hell or whatever. And in the end, this all also like destroyed a whole community, a whole game, right? I'm not saying, oh no, I can't play my game anymore. Oh no, I'm talking about this selfish, narcissistic document that consists of manipulation, lies, deception, narrative shifting, and honestly, fucking schizophrenia. Like, I cannot word it enough differently. This whole document led to a whole community falling apart. Not only Zeal's work, but also all the composers, all the artists, all the fan arts, all the people that contributed in some other ways. All of it just shattered in a moment of hours. No one could even hear what Zeal has to say. Everyone just jumped the ship, said, nah man, fuck you, like, we will not associate with pressure anymore. Everyone just left him. No one listened to him. No one even tried to listen to him. When he tried to communicate, everyone just laughed and said he is Oi. He's pathetic, you know? Like, genuinely, if you people... I'm not even talking about Zeal here, right?
I'm talking about overall this culture of using Google Documents to cancel someone before thinking. If you just read this, I'm not even half through this file, right? It's just the beginning. It's not even half of it. It's like a quarter. But this quarter is filled with 90% misinformation, 10% like actually meaningful stuff that should be considered, but this meaningful stuff that should be considered is not connected to the issue. Because the issue is all of this file. I will probably even timestamp this, so most of you who will watch this will actually hear these words. What I have against this, I do not sugarcoat Zeal actions, right? No, I probably am sugarcoating it, honestly, but I'm not dismissing it. He did things he did, and he did not deny doing things. In no message of his, in no video of his, he said, I did not do it, right? He is accepting what he did. But 7 months ago and today, he just followed patterns that Ren gave him, right? Ren was talking about bunnies, talking about how comfortable he is, how he loves him, how he's so sweet and yada yada. He never said, she never set any boundaries. She never said no. She never even hinted at saying no. There was no hints that she is in discomfort with it. She was kept silent for 7 months, not even by the team, I suppose, but herself. And this whole situation just stinks because it all could be regulated, it could be resolved if they just would speak, you know? Not even them, but Ren specifically. Ren's being silent, Ren's I haven't digged to that yet in this video and will probably not because it's already too long, but she always told him, he reassured him, she said sweet things to him. She said everything is okay, everything is fine, you should do this, do that, yada 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 yada. She just reassured him of his doings. Never ever she dismissed any of his doings. So I can even probably say that Ren manipulated Zeal into doing what he did. It will sound really horribly if you're out of the situation. I have not read the file, but please read the document from top to bottom, looking at all the annotations, all the direct messages, all the chronological order of it, right? Please read all of it. Do not stop, please stop canceling people, like, just for the document, just because the document exists. Information in this document stinks. It could all be resolved if Ren just spoke to her partner, to your fiancé even, I could say, right? So this is not a sexual harassment situation. This is not a crime even. I cannot tell it is a crime because they were in a specific relationship that is called probably even situationship, right? Or just friends with benefits or whatever. They were in a specific relationship where no one showed any discomfort, and from August to September, Ren assured everything is fine. She did not show any hints, and even more, she just like drove the suspicions away. She told everything is fine. She played the same game Zeal did, right? She even incentivized sometimes. So this all is not a crime situation. It's not a big. It literally is drama. It literally has 3 acts: pre, what happened, after. Before, happened, after, right? Three drama acts. This is a literature drama, literally drama, literature drama. You know, like it is a drama between 2 people that should be resolved personally. It should not damage a craft of 1,000 people. It should not damage someone's life this badly. It's just a matter of speaking to each other. If you just speak to your partner, speak to your friends, you know, this all could be avoided. And to probably finish my theory, I don't know how to call it, my speech, the actual act also assures me that it was all a mistake, an honest mistake, and a doing of his own autism. Because, trigger warning, graphic content, I don't know. When the act started and it was told it's being heard, the person who did the act, Zeal, tried to make up things. He tried to use saliva as lubricant, I'm supposing. And then when it did not work and it was told yet again that it hurt badly, the act stopped, right? So it strikes me as an autistic person with no experience whatsoever tried to make a person comfortable. All right, yeah, I forgot to mention one big thing. Yet again, 7 months ago and today, Zeal says he just wanted to comfort Ren. Ren showed a lot of and said a lot of things like about physical contact. She said he's very comforted. She said he loves hugs and cuddles and it helps her, right? So 7 months ago, Zeal said he just wanted to help her. He thought he likes it. He thought it helps her mentally. And 7 months ago, he still keeps his words. He still thinks the same. And in the process of this act, that I cannot actually call a crime, he tried to, after her lying in a blanket, like a burrito, I suppose, for half an hour and a half, right? He probably thought that going forward would help her, right? That this is the only right decision. It's literally, I cannot understand why is everyone so hypocritical about it, but this is literally how teenagers have their first experience. It's not pretty, it's probably painful for someone, right? Most of the time. That's just a first experience. Bad first experience. It is not a mastermind plan to do something to her. It's literally just an inexperienced autist trying things to make his friend comfortable and making like it up to her. And it was then later also said by him that he thought it's okay for friends to do that. That like he just wanted to help. So framing it as a crime, a really big crime, this claim like will probably never leave him any time, like 5 years after this. Probably when you hear of Urban Shade, you will probably think, oh, this is the assaulter. But in reality, like genuinely, it's just a skill issue of a person. It's a first experience of his that he failed at, right? Then he also tried to do it properly. Like let's buy things that we need. Let's buy this, that, yada yada. Let's do it properly if we wanna, right? So he knows he did something wrong, and he wants to make up for it. But instead, in this document, it is framed like he was not satisfied with the result for the first time, so he went and sexually harassed me the second time, right? And instead of speaking of all of it, we have this document that just spins the situation from head to bottom, and it all actually stinks. Like honestly, before reading this document, I was thinking that Zeal is a bad person, like a monster, probably even I'd say. Like I was not into pressure. I was not into Roblox at all. Like I don't even play it. But I saw on my FYP page that like all of the pressure voice acting cast is leaving. Everyone is leaving. Like oh my god, no, what happened? And I stood neutral for a day. I was thinking that like yeah, probably Zeal do it because you know how it goes, right? The Roblox game makers are all freaks, probably. And Zeal himself also joked about this by saying, I am waiting for a Google document, right, in 5 years, because that's literally how it goes all the time. Genuinely, all of them. I'm sorry. No, joke, obviously, I'm joking. But yeah, so with that taken in mind, I was completely sure that Zeal is a bad person here. Then I read the document for the first time. Like I just went with it, went with my eyes around it. Yeah. I did not read into it, and I began to see things that are not connecting to each other. And I thought maybe the situation isn't as black and white as it sounds, right? And then after 2 days passed, I spent half a day reading all of this in detail, reading all of the letters, all of the little annotations, all of the manipulations Ren did. And now I honestly cannot escape the idea of actually Ren being the bad person here. Like, she just, well, again, bear with me here. There was a situation between person A, person B, Zeal and Ren. They had a relationship that did not work. So Ren started this relationship. She wrote first. She was encouraging Zeal to speak softly, speak cuddly, yada yada. So she was the initiative in this one, right? She came to him. She did not dismiss any of his actions. She encouraged him to do things. She did not, again, dismiss any of this. Then she just overall loved the person that did not exist. For some reason, she had seen some contrast in his discussion, in his manner of speaking, but he did not ever change. From the start to the end, Zeal has always been distant, cold, and very short with his messages, right? He tried to cuddle with her in text and whatever, but from the start to the end, he was showing a really visible pattern of him not being okay, not being really good with communication. So she just came to a person, asked, encouraged them to do stuff, and then after 7 months, she posts a life-shattering document about him, manipulating all the facts, changing all meanings of her words, and overall, like, I don't know, man. If Zeal would actually die, it would be even worse than whatever happened. So she just exposed all of their personal information, personal stuff, their first experience, right? All of it just because Zeal was not the person she wanted, and not the person with enough experience to understand what's happening. I really hope you people will read this document and change your mind, or at least, I don't know, read it and analyze. I will probably end this here because later down the line there is also happening a lot of, yet again, manipulation of the facts. The only photo evidence we have is hickeys, which are left. They are also not denied. They are left because, well, they had intimacy. They did have it. No one is denying it. But the fact is, they are 22 years old, right? This is first ever sexual experience of Zeal, as far as I know. And for a situationship, or even a friendship with benefits, or relationship, it's okay to leave hickeys on someone. And even so, yet again, we have no dismissions of from Ren. She said, "You left marks on me. This is so fucking cute. Yada yada. Good feeling of pain." All of this document just stinks of her not being able to dismiss stuff. It's her own, like, issues, and I hope she gets them resolved, right? I hope she feels better for posting this document. But how you guys treat Zeal, and how you guys all jumped the ship, how you guys treat a person who just literally was unskilled in sex, it's just not okay, guys. Like, honestly, reading all of these live threads and everything you guys do and write, it makes me more sick than the description of the act. And this description of the act that Rain provided us is very graphic, right? It's unnecessarily graphic. It's really sickening. Sure, there's no denying that. But it was not a harassment. It was literally an experienced person driven by reassurance from his girlfriend, not like like relationship, but just a friend that is girl, right? Okay. So all of this situation is just a big misunderstanding between them, and then later between all of the community and Zeal. So please read stuff before you jump to conclusions. Wait before any information is available. In this instant, we don't even need any information from Zeal, right? Everything she posted in this document can be used against her and is discrediting her because all the evidence just stinks. It has zero relation to the actual crime, and crime was not committed. It's a domestic issue, relationship issue that should be that should be resolved in a personal matter. It should not be exposed to all of the internet, right? Like I've seen videos with millions of views. It should not be. So I won't blame Ren for any of this, but I'm very displeased with how things are handled. I'm displeased with her actions. I'm displeased with her how she does not take any responsibility. And I'm very unpleasant with how people handled this information, right? You were given the tools and you used them to possibly leading a person to a very unpleasant attempt of doing stuff to himself, right? I hope this will be a lesson for all of us, that we should not jump to conclusions. I hope Ren is feeling better now, because this document, well, released her of some burden, I hope. But I really ask you to reconsider stuff and read the document fully. Thank you.